Hello, welcome, Cabbage here. More of the visions, let's have a look at EX Victora. This will be a different video from usual because it'll be kind of a part review, part showcase, part comparison. I'm also going to put in some fights with Aranea as well. And although I've showed EX Victora before, I feel like I never really showed her properly, so this will be more like what this video is for. The one skill that absolutely throws me is her job level 25 skill, Frost Leap. It's a move and attack like Gurasida's Leap Strike. And I feel like there are two ways to play level 120 Victora, with Leap Strike on and with Leap Strike off. I have it on here for these fights in the video, but she won't use it very often. And then Victora and Arnea will have the exact same equipment, and then we'll go against a few tanks, and they have more or less the same equipment. Lots of defense on them. And then the problem with a Leap Strike in auto PvP is it moves units right into the thick of things. Moving way ahead of the rest of your team into enemy territory is not a bad thing for like Hiton or 2B who can evade, or like Warrior of Light who can take hits. But for glass cannons like Victora or Super Stern, it means the chance of them going down goes way up. And then this Victora, she has the self-sacrifice, so she will take more damage than usual. If this Frost Leap attack were strong enough to one-punch guys, then it would be a great skill to use. It'd be very easy to use as well, but it's not, so we have to ask, why did the developers give this skill to her? What is the purpose? And then the Frost Leap, it does give the Frostbite status, but that can't be the main purpose because it's not worth essentially sacrificing an entire unit of your 3-man PvP team to get that in. It's not going to win you matches. And so I think the reason why the developers gave Victora this skill is to make her charm Limit Break easier to use. It's essentially like Miranda or a Megamon's Limit Break that has the AoE effect around them. So they need to be within, surrounded by the guys in order to get the max effect from that. The trick is getting her to survive that time in between the move and attack, and then the Limit Break. So maybe if you combined it with Quick, she could Leap Strike and then immediately do the Limit Break. And the thing about Charm is that it's not a guaranteed win, even if you get it off. And so I think maybe leaving the Leap Strike on and then the Limit Break on would be better for manual play than auto. The safer choice, the one that I'm leaning towards just for kind of everyday use, is to turn off her Frost Leap and then use her as a more conventional Dragoon. Just rely on her jumps, work from medium range, maybe even turn off her Limit Break. She loses a lot of her individuality that way, but you get a much easier to use, more consistent, more damaging unit, I think. Alright, and then we have the inevitable comparison to Aranea. Aranea has 4 things going for her, where Victora can't compete. Pretty decent defense, strike attacks from Pugilist, top-tier damage that does not rely on self-sacrifice, and then a top-tier damage Limit Break, which is one of the best in the game, I think. And if I were to choose just one, I would definitely pick Aranea. I think we're going to see more damage from her overall from these fights. But if you already had Victora at 99, I think you could safely skip Aranea. And then just be aware of the choice to turn Frost Leap on or off. And then of course you could use them together, have a very cool Dragoon team. Maybe I'll show that off in a future video. In Brave Exvius, the big problem with Dragoons was their jump. Like, people would talk about, damage per turn, and, the chainers, which are always standing on the ground, they would always be doing more damage than the Dragoons. And then when the Dragoons are in the air, you can't interact with them, so they can't use buffs or breaks, you can't heal them. In War of the Visions, these are not really problems, but I think the problem with Dragoons in this game is that they have more of a focus on single target attacks, which makes it hard for them to be the main damage dealer on a team. I feel like they work best when there's another attacker also on the team. Folks like Helena or Super Stern or Oberon or Classic Glassy have really big AoE attacks, which really helps them be kind of the main or even the only attacker on a team. I don't think Viktora or Arnea by themselves can do that. And as we can see, I'm going through mock guild battles. Let me know what you think of this format. I'm pitting my own offense team against my own defense team. I feel kind of silly doing this. It's like playing a board game against yourself. Very lonely times. But I figure from the viewer's point of view, this is not any different from other battles that I put up. I would love to show videos from like high-level arena every week and then try out different stuff, but I just don't want to spend the Vision Ore for refreshes, so mock guild battles are a decent substitute at the moment. The thing is that I can only kind of do this on weekends because of my work schedule and my sleep schedule. I'm trying to make it work today, but in general it's going to have to be like when I have more time on the weekends. And then my account is ridiculous enough at this point that I can put together a good variety of teams to show off. But yeah, let me know if you'd like to see more in this style, and then I can do silly stuff like 1-on-1 or 2-on-2 or 3-on-1 like we're seeing here. Okay, so in the first batch of fights, we saw that June, she was tanking pretty well against ice attacks, so again, just goes to show that elements aren't everything. And then we saw Muraga, he was doing okay, but not as hard as June, not going to be as hard as Engelbert as we see here. And then I'm pretty satisfied with how the timing with Gilgamesh and Barret worked out. I left on haste on Gilgamesh so that he could use that turn 1 on Barret. Because Barret was so slow, I kind of felt like I couldn't get him higher than Gilgamesh. But he'll use haste on him first turn, and then he'll use quick on him in subsequent turns, and that really helps to get Barret out in front. And then we got Engelbert coming out here, still one of the best tanks in the game. I hope people realize this in Global as well, but as we shall see here, very, very hard. Yeah, there's some 2-digit damage. Alright, and then when the haste wears off, Gilgamesh will go back to putting haste on Barret, and there's the Leap Strike only doing 1 damage on Engelbert, so again, Leap Strike's not going to be an attack that can one-punch guys, so that really kind of lowers the usefulness of it, I think. Alright, here's a Gilgamesh Limit Break. Can't remember the last time I saw that. But this ice team that I have here, I don't think it's a good team. I don't feel like there's enough damage output. Again, I talked about Victora or Aranea as good attackers paired with another. But like Barret and then Gilgamesh here, they're probably not going to be able to make up that difference. And Engelbert, his job level 25 skill, the Drain, I love that skill. Really helps with his survivability. Okay, and then Magic doing great damage on Engelbert last. Alright, next let's take Aranea. Engelbert, he has good innate strike resistance, so maybe Aranea will not be using those attacks here. And I forgot to say that Victora, her other upgraded EX jaw break, it's the Horizon Jump, but she'll get a little bit of verticality to it, and a defense break. That is her best attack, I feel like. Better than her job level 25 skill, the Frost Leap, or the Limit Break. I would more concentrate on that skill than anything else for her. Aranea needs Augureus' Trustmaster much less than Victora, again because she has the nice defense. But if you wanted the shell going against magic users, you could certainly use that. Okay, here we'll get the Pierce Resistance Break. Not a ton of damage on Engelbert. And then Barrett, he's always using his Fuel Burst, I think it is, which will break defense. But still, Engelbert's going to be very tough. Okay, here we have a jump from Arnea. Okay, there we're getting some good damage. That will break single target resistance, so another nice break there. Okay, hopefully that was interesting or informative. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again. Take care.